Hello guys, good morning everyone. So welcome to another session of Python programming. So we've been learning about second chapter, and so we started discussing about different kinds of control structures in Python, and then again we have learned about some important concepts of strings, and we have seen some examples based on those strings concepts. Okay. So now today, in this video session, we are going to discuss about text files. Till now, whatever the programs we have written, everything is like when the program is executed, the user will give the input from the keyboard. Okay, and after executing that program, that means the program will take that input and try to execute, try to do some process and give the output on the screen. Okay, so output on the console. So till now, that is what we have learned about. So each and every program, whatever we have seen till now, all these programs will try to take input from the keyboard and then process the program, and then it will give the result on the console. Okay, so this is what we have done till now. But in this lecture, we'll try to know about how to deal with the text files. That means the input should be taken from the text file and the output also written on the text file. That is what we try to do in this session. Okay. Have you got the clear idea? That is, till now we have done different kinds of programs in Python, but we have taken the input from the keyboard. That means from the keyboard the user manually enters the input, and then taking that input, the program will try to do something in that something with that input and try to give the result, and we seen the result on the console. Okay, like so this is the console we have used. Okay, so right hand side this area is called as a console, and here on the left hand side we are writing a program. So this program will give the input on this console. Okay, so this area is called as a console. So whatever I am placing my mouse on this console, so this is called the output area where we can see our output. Okay, so especially with the Spider IDE. Okay, so we are using a Spider IDE to run these programs, right? So this is what we have learned. But in this session, or in this last concept of this unit, we try to discuss about what if we need to take an input from the keyboard, sorry, not from the keyboard, it's from the text file. Okay, so we have different kinds of files, text files in our system. So my input will be from the text file and my output also on the text file. So when I want to see the output of my Python program, I need to open a text file and there I can see my output. Okay, so that is what my attempt. Okay, that is what we are going to learn in this particular session. Okay, so we have might you have learned the same concepts in C programming, which is called as files. Okay, C programming is also having the similar kind of concept called files, where we try to deal with the files, because files is the ultimate thing where our data will be stored. Okay, so I'll give the importance of text files also, why we are using files instead of giving the input from the keyboard. That is also I'll explain in the next slides. Okay, so we are going to learn about text files in Python programming. That is what my main concept is. Okay, so text files, how to deal with the text files in Python. That is what the main major concept that we are going to learn in this session. Okay, so first of all, we'll try to understand what is a text file. Right, so basically text file is a software object that stores data on a permanent medium such as a disk, CD or a flash memory. Okay, so basically what is the thing is, text file contains a data, and that data can be stored permanently by using a hard disk or a compact disk, compact disk or the flash memory. Okay, so basically we carry out our memory devices like pen drives. Okay, and our mobile phone also having some storage. and we are also using hard disk, okay, compact discs, that means CD, DVD. Okay, for what purpose we are using all these things? Generally we store some data in these kind of disk, okay, in these kind of hard disk or CD or DVD or flash memory, whatever the memory device. The ultimate goal of these memory devices are to store our data permanently in some storage medium. Okay, but when you open that storage medium, you can see some set of data inside that. But how the data will be stored? The data will be stored in the form of files. Suppose you have movies, you have stored movies in your DVD. Okay, so when you open the contents of the DVD, what you can able to observe is there are some files exist. Okay, there are some movies in the form of files, which is of some other formats like .mp4 or AOB format, something different formats of movies are there. So in that particular formats, the data will be stored. But ultimately what we can say is that is a file. That file contains some movies, right? So this is what basically the text file or any kind of file contains. So files contains data, and that data can be permanently stored on some storage devices. Okay, so this is what a file is called as, right? Why we need to take the input from the file and give the output to the file? Like I told you in the earlier now just a few seconds earlier, I have told you that I need to take an input from the keyboard. Sorry, I need to take an input from the text file rather than the keyboard. Why I am telling you this is, suppose I have some data, okay, I have written some program and I need to give that data to the program, which is called as an input. Okay, so manually when you try to give an input to the program, you can give mostly 100 values or 200 values. Okay, so you will be fed up with giving each and time giving the input that many of times, right? Suppose I have written a program in such a way that I need to do some calculations, and I want to check more number of inputs from that particular program. Okay, so when you try to give input from the keyboard, the user manually he will try to enter some input. Okay, whenever he try to enter the input, the program will process and give the result. Okay, so if you want to check 100 inputs, then obviously you need to give input 100 times. Okay ma, అర్థమవుతుందా? సో మాన్యువల్గా మనం ఇన్పుట్ ఇవ్వాలనుకుంటే, మనం ఏదైనా ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ రాసినప్పుడు ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్కి ఇన్పుట్ ఏదైనా ఇవ్వాలనుకున్నప్పుడు ఒకసారి ఇన్పుట్ ఇస్తే ఆ ఇన్పుట్ ప్రాసెస్ చేసి మనకి అవుట్పుట్ ఇస్తుంది. ఓకే, అదే మనం 100 వాల్యూస్ చెక్ చేయాలనుకోండి, 100 టైమ్స్ మాన్యువల్గా ఇన్పుట్ ఇస్తూ ఉండాలి. Okay, so with this what happens is the user may be fed up. Okay, he will be get bored, right? And sometimes the input data is very big. Okay, at that time this manual way of giving an input to the program is not a good practice, right? So the alternative for this is you will store all your input values in a text file, and the text file will be given input to the program. Then it will take all the values from the text file one by one, and it will check and it will process the program and give the output to you. Okay, so this is very easier way. Okay, so once again I am telling you this, manual giving of input is very time taking process. Okay, if we have only one value or two value, we can manually give that value to the program, and the program will check that value and give the result. It's okay. But if we have 100 values to check, or if we have 1000 values to check, at that time this manual way of giving an input to the program is not the right way or is not the efficient way. So what I am doing is I am placing all my input values in a text file, and the text file will be given to the program. The program will take each and every value from the text file and try to process it and give the result. Okay, so this is the alternative and the best solution for giving an input. So that is why we are storing all our files, all our data in the text file. Especially Python programming is especially used in data science mechanisms. Nowadays, data science mechanisms are using these Python languages. Okay, so data science is what? Nothing but it deals with huge amount of data, nearly some TBs of data. Okay, suppose I want to know what is the growth of my company. Okay, how I can perform that is all my data, all my sales, all my purchases, all my like whatever I have spent in my company, my investment, my purchases, all these things I have put in data. Okay, I'll try to put in Excel file, and that Excel file will be given as an input to the Python program. Okay, so within a few seconds, the Python program will try to solve all the values and try to process all the values and give a complete picture of what is the growth of your company in the last 1 year, or in the last 6 months, or in the last 3 months. Okay, so let us understand the same thing with the manual way of giving an input. If we have all these values, it is impossible to give all these values manually to a program. Okay, so what I am doing, I am storing all my values, all my data related things of a company. I am storing it in a Excel file. So that Excel file will be given as an input to the program. Then the program will try to process the thing, and it will give a pictorial representation of an output. Okay, so then I can able to analyze, and then I can able to understand. Okay, this is what happened in my company in the last 1 year or in the last 6 months. Then I'll take some decisions regarding the future of the company. Okay, so obviously giving a input data from a file is very beneficial than the manually giving an input to the program. Okay, so that is what he tried to explain in this particular slide. Okay, so you can observe the second point. When compared to the keyboard input from a human user, the main advantages of taking input data from a file are the data set can be much larger. Okay, and the data can be input much more quickly with less chance of error, and the data can be used repeatedly with the same program or with the different programs. Okay, so once you have an data, all your data in a text file or an Excel file or in a text file or any other file. Okay, so if that file will be given as an input to any other program, it will try to process and give your output. Okay, which is much easier, and the data can be much larger. That is the point you need to concentrate. Okay, so in companies, data will be stored in the Excel file, and that Excel file will be given to the program. And whatever the data that we are storing in the Excel file, it will be in some huge amount of data. Okay, like GBs of data. All the related things regarding your company. That means the purchases and what are the products they have sold in the last 6 months. Okay, and what type of products are frequently buying by the customers. All these analysis can be done when you have data related to that, and the data should be given as an input to the Python program. So that is why text files are more important when it comes to Python programming. Okay, so in general, data science is a thing which we are using more often in the industry today. All these data science programs are doing with Python programming. Okay, applying so many algorithms to analyze the issues in the company, and to analyze the data, and to know the mind of a customer, what type of products he is buying, what type of products he is try to he want to buy with. Okay, and he want to buy with together. all these things can be analyzed with the help of this data. That is why dealing with the text files in Python programming is much more important than the manual giving of input to the programs. Okay, so in this session we try to learn all these mechanisms and how to read the data from the file, how to write the data from the into the file. All these things we can learn. Next, see, text files. Basically what a text file contains: the data in the text file can be viewed as a characters, words, numbers, or lines of text. So this is what any text file contains, right? It contains what? It contains characters, it contains words, it contains some numbers or some lines of text. Okay, or otherwise some kind of text files are there which they contains only numbers, only integers, or only float values. Like I have shown some example here. So this is a file which contains some values. 6 values are there. All these values are float type. First one is 34.6, second value 22.33, third value 66.75, fourth is 77.12, 21.44, 99.01. Okay, so all these values. How we can say these values are 6 values? Because each and every value is separated by a space. So whenever the space occurs, so I thought that it is one value. So 34.6, after that I'll get some space, and that the second number starts. After that again I'll get some space and the third number will start. So based on these spaces, I'll judge there are 6 values in this text files. Okay, so this is very important. When we have only integers or only float values in a file, then we need to separate the values by using any parameter, either comma or space, okay, or tabs or new lines, whatever the thing you should take as a parameter and separate the values. Okay, some people may use comma to separate all these values, 34.6 comma 22.33 comma. Okay, so whenever comma is there, I'll thought that okay, before the comma there is a value and after the comma there is also a value, right? So from this example there is a space. So spaces are the things which are separating the values, right now. Next, and one more thing I have written in a small box here: the data, whatever the data we are dealing in the text file, all the data is in the form of strings. Okay, so any text file, it contains the data of it, whatever the data, it contains numbers or strings or float or anything, everything will be treated as a string in Python. Okay, suppose there is a text file. In that text file you are storing some value 10. That 10 is a string. Okay, Python understands it's a string, but when we are representing the 10 value, we need to convert the 10 into an integer value. Okay, so when you are taking an input from the keyboard, you are using the string values. From that string values, what you need to do is you need to convert those string values into an integer. Similarly, when you want to store any values in the file, if at all those values are string values, no problem. If at all those values are integer or float values, you need to again convert those into a string value and try to store into the file. That is what the main important thing. Okay. Okay, I hope you understood all these concepts. Okay, so any text files, it contains strings. No matter whatever the values, Python understands all the values which are stored in the text files are strings. Okay, so if you have any integers or float values in the text file, those has to be converted into their particular format and process the values and again try to convert them into strings and store into the text files. ఓకే, ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ తెలుగులో చెప్తాను, అర్థం చేసుకోండి. టెక్స్ట్ ఫైల్లో అంటే టెక్స్ట్లో ఉన్న ఏదైనా ఒక ఫైల్ మీరు ఓపెన్ చేశారనుకోండి, అందులో అన్నీ కూడా స్ట్రింగ్స్ వాల్యూస్గానే పైథాన్ ట్రీట్ చేస్తుంది. అవి నార్మల్ ఇంటిజర్స్ అవ్వనివ్వండి, లేకపోతే ఫ్లోట్ అవ్వనివ్వండి, ఎనీ వాల్యూస్ అవి స్ట్రింగ్ లాగా కన్సిడర్ చేస్తుంది. సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ మీరు స్క్రీన్ మీద చూస్తున్నారు ఒక చిన్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్, దాంట్లో కొన్ని వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి 34.6, 22.33, 67, 66.75 సంథింగ్. ఇవన్నీ వాల్యూస్ ఫైల్లో ఉన్నంతసేపు అవి స్ట్రింగ్సే. ఫైల్లో నుంచి బయటికి తీసుకురావాలనుకున్నప్పుడు మీరు ఏం చేయాలి, దాన్ని ఫ్లోట్లోకి కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకొని తీసుకురావాలి. అదే మీరు మళ్ళీ ఆ వాల్యూని స్టోర్ చేయాలి ఫైల్లోకి అనుకున్నప్పుడు మళ్ళీ దాన్ని స్ట్రింగ్స్లోకి కన్వర్ట్ చేసి స్టోర్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, ఈ పాయింట్ బాగా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు మనం కొన్ని ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ చూస్తాము, ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్లో కూడా మనం సేమ్ ప్రొసీజర్ ఫాలో అవుతాము. రైట్ మా? రైట్. See, why I am telling you in Telugu is so many people they have asked me that everything is in English, they are unable to understand. Okay, so that's why I am repeating some of the things in Telugu, and mostly I'll cover in English, and some of the things where where the concept exactly lies at that point of time I'll try to explain in Telugu. Okay, right. So text files and their formats. Next, writing text to your files. Okay, now the basic concept, now we have entered into the original concept. To open any text file, see, first of all, to what is the heading? Heading is writing text to a file. So what I need to write to a file is I am writing some text into the file. Okay, that is what the main concept is. Okay, we'll try to learn about reading integers, reading text from a file, similarly writing integers and writing text to a file. All these four concepts we'll try to learn. Okay, so in this context, the first one is writing text to a file. I want to write some text to a file. Okay, so to do that, first of all I need to open the file. Okay, so to open a file in Python, there is a function called open. So f is equal to, f is a file pointer. Okay, generally in C programming also we have used this. So f is equal to open. Open is a function. In that you need to give the path of the file. Okay, so what is my file name? My file.txt, that is my file name, comma, there is a mode. This is called as a mode. That means in which mode you want to open that file. There are different modes of files: read mode, write mode, read plus mode, write plus mode, append mode, append plus mode. Similarly, these modes are already you have in C programming also. Okay, so there is very similarity between C programming files concept and Python files concept. Only thing is at the, in C programming we use fopen, fread, fwrite, like those we use the functions. Here we try to use open, write, close. Okay, there is no f in front of these functions. That is the only difference. Right now, so f is equal to open. So open is a function. It will accept two arguments. The first argument is called as the file name, comma, mode of the file. So what is the heading of this concept is writing a file, writing a text to a file. So I need to open my file.txt, and in which mode I am trying to open? I try to open that in a write mode, because I want to write something in the file, right? I want to write something in the file, so that's why I open in a write mode. Next, f.write. This is the function with which we write something into the file. So what I want to write is, I want to write first line, and then I am using /n, then again second line, then again /n. So when I try to open myfile.txt and see the contents of the file, I'll get first line, and in the next line I'll get second line. Okay, so that is what I am trying to write in myfile.txt. So once again I am telling you this: to open a file you need to call a function called open. Then that function of so two arguments, myfile.txt, that is the first argument which will give the path of the file. Okay, comma, mode, the second argument is the mode. Okay, in which mode you want to open the file, whether reading or writing or write plus or read plus. Okay, we'll see in the next slide. We'll try to see what are the modes of these files. Next, write is a function through which we'll write something into the file. Okay, so I am writing a normal string, so directly I am giving it as a first line /n. /n is nothing but it will gives the new line, and then again second line I am printing second line, then again /n. Okay, so these are the two things which I want to write in the myfile.txt. After opening and writing something in that file, I am closing the function with the function called close, f.close. So f.close will close the file because we have done with the file. So we want to open the file in a write mode and want to write something. We have written something in that file and try to close that file. So f.close is a function which will try to close the file. Right? I have understood this. Now the same thing I'll try to explain with the program. Okay, so this is the program. Okay, see here. So this is the thing. Okay, so this is the small code you want to execute, right? So here when I execute this statement, it is executed. Okay, so on the right hand side you can able to see the program is executed. These 3 lines has been executed. So but where should I see the output? I have to go to myfile.txt and see the output. Okay, where this myfile.txt is in this particular path. Okay, so actually this is C folder users. There is a in users folder there is a file called Jani Bhasha. In that file my myfile.txt is stored. Okay, so there it the output is stored. Okay, so now I'll try to open that file and try to show you where that particular file is. So in C folder, one second. Okay, I'll try to show. Okay, in C folder there is a folder called users, and in that users there is a folder called Jani Bhasha. In that folder there is a file called my file. Okay, have you able to see this my file? So my file, when you try to open this my file, okay, see here, when you try to open this my file, these two things has been stored, first line and second line. So this is what the program we have written. We try to write 2 lines, first line then /n, then again second line /n, right? So /n is nothing but what? Waiting in the next line. Okay, so these are the 2 things we have stored. Okay, now if you want to modify this, okay, so I'll try to modify here in the exactly same place. Okay, so what I have written is this is Python files concept. Okay, now I have modified the result and try to execute the same thing again. Okay, now I'll check. So again, close this file and now again check. So open the myfile.txt. See here. So this is Python files concept, right? So whatever the thing I want to write there, I have written in the write function. Okay, so that exactly the same thing here it is reflecting in the myfile.txt. Okay, ma? So have you understood this? So this is how we are executing the files concept, right? Next. Okay, so have you understood this? Writing text to a file. So we are done with this. Next. Okay, so this is the output we have tried to display it on the screen. I have taken a screenshot and placed it in this slide. Okay, but anyhow I have shown with the real-time example also. So I have shown you how this output has to be checked and how this has been happened in the program. Next, file accessing modes. So that is what the concept, the second parameter in the open function. say open function will try to accept two arguments. One argument is the path of the file and the second argument is mode in which the file has to be opened. Okay, so there are 6 modes. R is for open. Okay, open for reading. Only you can read the contents of the file. Okay, if the file does not exist, what happens? It will give an error. Okay, so when you want to open a file in a read mode, you make sure that that file already created. That file is already created. Okay, please make sure that the file is already created. Otherwise, it will give an error. Okay, next R plus. R plus is for what? Open the file for reading and writing purpose. Okay, so you can do both the things, both reading and writing purpose. Here also make sure that the file is already created. If the file is not created, it will give an error, IO error. Okay, input output error it will give. Next, write mode. Write mode is you want to write something in the file. Okay, here the thing is with the write mode, if the file doesn't exist, it will automatically create the file. Okay, so you see the last point. If the file does not exist, what it will do is it will create the file. Automatically the creation will be done. Okay, but in reading mode, if the file doesn't exist, it will give an error. Okay, that is what the difference between read modes and write modes. Okay, ma? Next, W plus. W plus is also for open, reading and writing. Okay, if the file is existing already, the data is truncated and overwritten. If the file already exists, the data will be overwritten. Okay, that means what? Already the previous data will be vanished and your new data will be replaced there. Okay, ఉన్న డేటా ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న డేటా పోతుంది, మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు మీరు కొత్తగా రాసిన డేటా అది మాత్రమే ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అయి ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, అది మీరు ఎప్పుడు W కానీ W ప్లస్ మోడ్ కానీ యూజ్ చేస్తే. వేరే యాజ్ అన్ అపెండ్ మోడ్. అపెండ్ మోడ్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న డేటా కూడా ఉంటుంది, ఇప్పుడు మీరు కొత్తగా రాసిన డేటా కూడా దానికి యాడ్ అవుతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ద డిఫరెన్స్. అపెండ్ మోడ్ అంటే అపెండ్ ప్లస్. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి, the data being written will be inserted at the end after the existing data. ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న డేటా అక్కడే ఉంటుంది, దాని పక్కనే మీరు ఇప్పుడు కొత్తగా రాసిన డేటా అక్కడికి వచ్చి చేరుతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ద బేసిక్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఇస్ బిట్వీన్ అపెండ్ మోడ్ అండ్ W మోడ్. ఓకే, రైట్. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద డిఫరెంట్ మోడ్స్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ ఫర్ ద ఫైల్స్. నెక్స్ట్, writing numbers to a file. Writing numbers to a file. In the previous example, what we have seen is writing text to a file. Okay, text ne manam file loki rasamu. Em rasamu? This is the concept of a files అని చెప్పి, this is the Python concept files something ఏదో రాసాము. Okay, but ఇక్కడ ఏమంటున్నాడు? We want to write some numbers into the file. నెంబర్స్ వచ్చేటప్పటికి డిఫరెన్స్ వస్తుంది. ఎందుకు వస్తుంది సార్ డిఫరెన్స్ అంటే, స్ట్రింగ్స్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్, అదే మనం ఏదైనా స్ట్రింగ్ రాయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు, కానీ నెంబర్స్ రాయాలనుకున్నప్పుడు మాత్రం ప్రాబ్లం. ఎందుకు? నెంబర్స్ని మళ్ళీ దేంట్లో కన్వర్ట్ చేయాలి? స్ట్రింగ్లోకి కన్వర్ట్ చేసి అప్పుడు ఫైల్లోకి రాయాలి. వై? బికాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ బికాస్ ఆల్ ద డేటా ఇన్ ద ఫైల్స్ ఇట్ యాక్సెప్ట్స్ ఓన్లీ స్ట్రింగ్ వాల్యూస్. It will not accept any integers or float values or any kind of values. It will accept only the integer value, string values. కాబట్టి మీరు స్ట్రింగ్స్ మీద కానీ, ఇంటిజర్స్ మీద కానీ, ఫ్లోటింగ్ నెంబర్స్ మీద కానీ ఏదైనా వర్క్ చేసినప్పుడు దాన్ని మళ్ళీ స్ట్రింగ్స్లోకి కన్వర్ట్ చేసి అప్పుడు మాత్రమే ఫైల్లోకి స్టోర్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, హ్యావ్ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్ దిస్? రైట్. నౌ there is a small example. Okay, there is a small example code we have written here. The example is 500 random integers are generated between 1 to 500 and are generated and written to a text file name integer.txt. Okay, so what is the thing is, I will write a program. That program will try to generate a number in between 1 to 500. ఓకే 1 to 500 మధ్య ఒక నంబర్ జనరేట్ చేస్తుంది. ఆ నంబర్ని తీసుకెళ్ళి ఫైల్లోకి స్టోర్ చేస్తుంది. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ మై ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈస్. ఓకే, హ్యావ్ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్ దిస్? So a random number will be generated in between 1 to 500 and that number will be stored in the text file called integers.txt. integers.txt అనే ఒక ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ అవ్వాలి. ఓకే, అక్కడ క్రియేట్ అయిన తర్వాత దాంట్లో మనం ఒక నంబర్ని స్టోర్ చేస్తాం. అది కూడా ఏ నంబర్ అది? విచ్ ఇస్ అ ర్యాండమ్ నంబర్ ఇన్ బిట్వీన్ 1 to 500. ఓకే, వీ కెనాట్ సే దట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ దట్ ఈస్ దిస్ నంబర్. It must be any number in between 1 to 500. So here, to generate a random number, we need to use a function called randint. Already this function we have used in other classes also. Randint. So randint is a function. Randint is a function which will generate a random number in between a particular range. Okay. So now you can see the output here. Program here. So the program starts with import random because we are using a random library. So we need to import that library because rand.int అనే ఫంక్షన్ ఏ లైబ్రరీలో ఉంటుంది? random అనే లైబ్రరీలో ఉంటుంది. సో కాబట్టి ఇంపోర్ట్ random అనే ఫంక్షన్ ఫస్ట్ రాయాలి. ఆ తర్వాత f is equal to f open of integers.txt comma write. So integers.txt అనే ఫైల్ మనం క్రియేట్ చేసి దాన్ని రైట్ మోడ్లో ఓపెన్ చేసాం ఫస్ట్. ఓకే, సో వీ నీడ్ టు ఓపెన్ ద integers.txt in a write mode. Okay, because we need to write some integer in that file, right? So that's why we have done this. After that, for loop, we have written a for loop for count in range 500. So what is the value I need to write in between 1 to 500, right? So that's why I am using a function called range and I am using that function with a for loop. So for count in range 500. Okay, so 0 to 500 మధ్యలో ఒక నంబర్ మనం జనరేట్ చేస్తున్నట్టుగా. Now what is that number? Number is equal to random.randint of 1 comma 500. So randint is a function which will try to generate a random number in between 1 to 500 and that number will be stored in variable called number. Okay, so what is a number variable contains? A number variable contains a random number in between 1 to 500. Now the main task is I need to convert this random number into string. దీన్ని మనం స్ట్రింగ్ లోకి కన్వర్ట్ చేసి అప్పుడు ఫైల్లోకి రాయాలి. ఎందుకు సార్ స్ట్రింగ్ లోకి కన్వర్ట్ చేయకుండా రాయకూడదు? ఎందుకంటే text file will accept only the string values. It will not accept any integer values or float values. So that's why we are writing a number. Okay, so how I am writing is, first of all, this number has to be converted into string. So string లో కన్వర్ట్ చేయాలంటే ఏం చేయాలి? దాని ముందు str అని పెట్టాలి, సరిపోతుంది. ఓకే, సో నంబర్ ముందు str పెడితే అది స్ట్రింగ్ లో కన్వర్ట్ అయిపోయింది, రైట్ మా? సో అయిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ దీన్ని మనం f.write అనే ఫంక్షన్ యూజ్ చేసి we need to write this into the file. Okay, so f.write, this is the function through which we need to we have to use this function and write this number into the file. Okay, so after that f.close. Okay, so right now we can observe the same thing. So already I have taken the output and I have shown here in the screenshot, but we'll try to do it with real time. Okay, so this is the code actually. సో ఈ కోడ్ని మనం సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకొని ఈ బ్లాక్ కలర్ బటన్ పైన దీన్ని క్లిక్ చేస్తే దీన్ని సెలెక్షన్ రన్ అని అంటారు. సో దిస్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఎ సెలెక్షన్ రన్. దట్ మీన్స్ ఓన్లీ దీస్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్. ఓకే, బికాస్ ఆల్రెడీ ఈ ఫైల్లో చాలా కంటెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, కానీ ఐ వాంట్ టు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ ఓన్లీ దీస్ పర్టికులర్ ఫైల్స్, దీస్ పర్టికులర్ లైన్స్. సో వెన్ యూ క్లిక్ ఆన్ దిస్, ఇలా వచ్చిందంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? ఆల్రెడీ ఫంక్షన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ జరిగిపోయింది and a random number is generated and stored in the integers.txt. ఎక్కడ? we need to go to that path. ఆ path కి వెళ్ళి అక్కడ చూడాలి. ఓకే, సో likewise earlier I have shown you C ఫోల్డర్లో users అనే ఫోల్డర్లో జానీ భాష అనే ఫోల్డర్ ఉంది. అందులో మనకి integers.txt. సార్ ఫైల్ ఎప్పుడు ఇలానే ఉంటుందా? నో, వీ కెన్ చేంజ్ ద ఫైల్ హియర్. పాత్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫైల్ ఇక్కడ చేంజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, సో హియర్ వీ కెన్ చేంజ్ దిస్ పాత్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫైల్ లైక్ దిస్. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ మనం పాత్ మనం చేంజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో యూ కెన్ కీప్ ఇట్ ఆన్ డెస్క్టాప్ ఆర్ ఎనీ D folder or anything, right? So but I have given the path in such a way, okay, like this. So I have an integer folder. When I try to open this integer folder, there is a number generated called 74. Okay, once again I am trying to execute the same program. This time another number will be executed. Okay, so again I am executing the same program, and again I am trying to open that integer.txt file and try to observe the value. This time what is the value? 241. Okay, so this is how we are generating the numbers by using the program. So this is how we are writing integers into the file. The concept is what? Basic concept is writing numbers to a file. Okay, so only thing you need to observe is the values of the data types can be converted into strings by using a str function. Then only you have to store that values into the file. Otherwise it will not accept any files, right? So in the next class we'll try to see about how to read the values from the text file and how to read the integer values from the text file. Okay, so reading the integer values from the text file and reading the string values from the text file. These are the two concepts that we try to learn in the next class. Thank you.